Right now at 6, new information on mortgage rates and how they could affect the local housing market.
And scattered showers, thunderstorms are possible today. We're already starting to see the cloud cover from that batch of rain. We'll go over those details with you coming up.
Plus, the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce hosts an entrepreneurs workshop for local veterans.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday and it's September the 10th, and it is going to be a bit of a wet day, but that's okay. We need some of that rain. Believe it or not, we are actually seeing some mild drought conditions in parts of the area, so we do actually need this rain. I know we had a pretty wet start to the year. We had a pretty nasty start to this year, too, with some severe weather out there. But thankfully, nothing strong, nothing severe expected today, but more rain is on the way. We're going to start, though, with a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. And so far, it's still dark, and that is simply because the sun hasn't risen yet. However, as it does rise, you may not see much of it, as clouds are going to start to increase across the area as we head through the morning. But our camera 20th in range line looking good as well. So here's a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker, which at least this morning, there's nothing in our area. This is out to our west, obviously, but it's a decaying batch of showers and storms. It was severe very, very late last night, and now it's not really much of anything. It's triggered some new thunderstorms down into Oklahoma that are racing pretty quickly down toward, let's say, the Oklahoma City metro. It will eventually set the stage for redevelopment right around the Wichita area of new showers and storms that will begin to push into our area. Now, this thing also has a very big cloud shield with it, which I was showing you at the beginning of the show there. We have it already starting to reach into our western counties. So many of us will start partly cloudy, but then clouds will increase through the morning, will become mostly cloudy pretty quickly. And then about 1 o'clock or so, scattered showers, thunderstorms start pushing into southeast Kansas. So through 4, most of what we're expecting is going to be along and west of the US 69 corridor. As we head into the afternoon, showers, thunderstorms begin crossing that line into Missouri, and eventually, as we start heading later into the evening, this activity becomes a lot more isolated. Now, initially, too, it was looking, and I've been talking about this morning, it's looking like it may last as late as 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, but looking at some new data, it's looking more likely it may wrap up closer to 11 o'clock or midnight tonight. But one way or the other, a few scattered storms out there. Not everybody will see rain, but some of us will. We're at 65 in Joplin right now, 61 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, good mix of temperatures into the upper 50s and low to mid 60s as we start our day. Jay, the cool spot though right now, sitting at 57 degrees. And as we head through the morning for kids getting on that bus, again, about partly cloudy for most of us, low 60s. By lunch and recess, we should still, 98% of us should still be dry by lunchtime and recess time, upper 70s. Mid-80s, and we start to see those scattered storms pushing in from west to east as the kids start heading home. So they're not going to need the umbrella really this morning, but they might need it later today. Mid-60s by 9, upper 70s at noon, and our highs today, keep in mind the average is 85. So we're looking to be maybe 2 to 3 degrees above average across the area, so not that bad. And we'll have those scattered storm chances. And like I said, 2 to 3 degrees above normal isn't going to be that bad to what we have coming in starting tomorrow. We'll go over those details, take a look at your weekend forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, currently, mortgage rates are on a slight decrease over the country, but what does this mean for those looking for a new home? Well, with the economy in continual flux, it bears the question, is now the right time to buy a home? The Federal Reserve is set to meet in mid-September about interest rates. The current rate is 4.25%. Mortgage rates are not directly influenced by the federal interest rate. Instead, they're affected by the 10-year Treasury yield. Orvis Bank says mortgages change ahead of the federal rate.
We like to say that mortgage rates kind of lead the pack. So we've actually already seen mortgage rates trend down a little bit over the past few weeks. And when the feds meet next Wednesday, those rates that's your prime rate that they're looking to lower. And prime is tied to more short-term money.
Well, like Sweet says, mortgage rates are already dropping before the Fed meets next week. And that solar tax credit that can save you thousands with installing a new solar system is going away at the end of the year. Now, while it can save on your power bill, if you can afford the hefty investment, a system usually costs about $30,000, but the tax credit could knock it down to $20,000. Here's the deal though, no leasing, you must buy. You can check with your city and HOA to see if they have any specific requirements and make sure the mounting system is compatible with your roof. Like the solar tax credit, the energy efficient home improvement credit also expires on December 31st. And the Missouri House passes a bill to redraw congressional districts, sending the measure to the Senate for debate. The supporters say the Republican-led effort is meant to ensure Missouri's voice in Washington reflects the state's conservative majority. Now, if passed, the bill would divide Missouri's 5th congressional district into 3 seats, each already represented by Republicans. And the Heartland Patriots Festival and Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce hold a Veterans Entrepreneur Workshop at Crowder College Advanced Training Technology Center. KOAM's Kenny Foreman was there to find out more.
Doug Hunt is one of several looking to help small business grow.
What I hope for small businesses and new startups is that the success rate grows so that the number of businesses that fail in the first 3 years, that number goes way down. And we're working very hard to make that happen here at the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce.
He's the Director of Entrepreneurship with the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce. He's encouraged a group of about 12 veterans to start their own businesses.
One of the things that we have talked about at the conference is showing veterans how they can get their business up and running as a startup and going into the details like a business plan, how to write an executive summary, P&L, all of those things that they would need and to be fluent in to start their business.
Several of the event organizers are veterans themselves, in addition to their experience in small business. This includes Ted Donaldson, Development Director of Heartland Canines for Veterans, who hopes that those who came out today are more aware of local resources that can help them start their own business.
If we can remove some of the unknowns, if we can help them overcome some whatever fear there may be about starting a business and recognize what's involved risk-wise, what resources are available in the community for them, then it may make it easier for them to do this and start a business.
Donaldson helped put the event together with the Heartland Patriot Festival, which celebrates veterans in the Midwest.
We know existing business owners that are veterans, and they support this kind of activity. We work through the Heartland Patriots Festival, we work with a bunch of different local businesses who came on board as sponsors to help us do all the different activities that we're doing this week.
Also on hand was Christian Thadani of the U.S. Small Business Administration. Also a former veteran, he prides himself in giving back.
As a veteran, I'm aware that some of my fellow veterans experience issues as we continue into civilian life, and helping my fellow veterans bridge some of these issues and these gaps is important to me.
He also knows the skills they will learn will be invaluable regardless of their future in business.
I'm most happy to see people connecting with other people. Whether or not we go forward on their entrepreneurial journey, just the time we get to spend together and connect with each other is most important.
In Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Well, this is the first year for the event, but according to Donaldson, it won't be the last. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Israel defends its attack on Hamas leaders in Doha, while President Trump calls Israel's bombing attack in Doha not a good situation. Plus, Nepal's prime minister resigns as deadly youth protests rock the country. And we have a warm and a cloudy day today. Chris has a look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 6:08. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Rotary Park in Frontenac. Topping World Watch, Nepal's prime minister has resigned amid the country's worst youth-led protests in decades, sparked by a ban on social media, allegations of widespread corruption, and lack of economic opportunity. At least 22 people have been killed and hundreds injured as security forces used live ammunition, water cannons, and tear gas on demonstrators, mostly teens and young adults demanding change. With the government in turmoil, Parliament is expected to form an interim leadership, while international organizations call for an independent investigation into the deadly crackdown. And this morning, the U.S. is caught between two allies after Israel launched a strike on Hamas leaders in Qatar yesterday. President Trump says he's unhappy about the way the attack occurred, while also calling it a, quote, unfortunate incident that could serve as an opportunity for peace. Israel says the strike targeted Hamas officials that were responsible for the October 7th attacks. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
Well, I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it.
President Donald Trump says Israel's bombing attack targeting Hamas leadership in Doha yesterday is not a good situation.
We got to get the hostages back. And I was very unhappy about the way that went down.
Last night, the president told reporters Israel did not notify him in advance of the strike. On social media, he said it was too late to stop the attack after the U.S. military notified him, and that he directed his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, to inform leaders in Qatar immediately. President Trump also said he spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after the attack, as well as Qatari leaders, adding that he assured them such a thing will not happen again on their soil. Qatar has condemned the attack, calling it barbaric, though leaders there say they will continue mediating peace talks.
We take full responsibility for this action.
Netanyahu defended the operation, which he says targeted Hamas leaders that planned, launched, and celebrated the October 7th attacks on his country. Israel Defense Forces also tell CBS News the targets have been orchestrating and managing the war against the state of Israel.
This action can open the door to an end of the war.
Overnight explosions lit up the sky in Gaza hours after Israel's military dropped leaflets warning people to evacuate Gaza City. The move signaling plans for a new military offensive. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The United Nations Secretary General condemned the airstrike, saying, quote, all parties must work towards achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it. And still to come, from Saturday Night Live host to Emmy Awards MC, comedian Nate Bargatze adds another major milestone. Plus, warm and cloudy conditions. Chris has a look at your forecast. Good morning. I'm Elise Snowy with your KOAM News update. Webb City Police, along with the Jasper County SWAT team, surrounded a residence on North Pennsylvania Avenue Monday night. The operation began around 7:30 p.m. and involved a tense standoff. Using a bullhorn, officers urged those inside to surrender. By 9:45 p.m., the front door was breached and a drone was deployed shortly afterwards. At 11:20 p.m., Colton Crowder surrendered peacefully and was arrested on probation and parole felony violation warrant. No injuries were reported during the operation. And Joplin officials want your help naming some new trails at the city's bike park at Dora. City officials are inviting the public to name the trails at the Momentum Bike Park. Upon opening, it will be the largest municipal facility of its kind in Missouri. The survey closes next Wednesday on the 17th.
Now we've got opportunities for some scattered showers and thunderstorms heading into the afternoon, starting in southeast Kansas and pushing eastward. No severe weather expected, and not everybody will see rain. Be a little warmer today as well, right around the mid-80s. Shower storms continuing through the evening, should be wrapping up around midnight or so. We'll go back into the upper 60s, low 70s tonight. Temperatures heating up, though, tomorrow into the weekend as we go low mid-90s, putting us anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees above normal, with those warm temperatures continuing into next week.
Well, it's a star-studded lineup of presenters at this year's Emmy Awards, and Lady Gaga is extending her North American Mayhem tour. Nick Sachovix has your eye on entertainment.
Leonardo DiCaprio hit the red carpet in Hollywood for the premiere of One Battle After Another, the politically charged action thriller.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
Not if I see you first.
DiCaprio says the film dives into the ideas that drive people.
When you see the movie, you'll see these complex characters that are live on such polar opposite spheres, but ultimately think that their choice is the right one.
One Battle After Another will be in theaters nationwide September 26th. Sydney Sweeney, Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates and The Late Show host Stephen Colbert are on the star-studded lineup of presenters at this year's Emmy Awards. Comedian Nate Bargatze is hosting the show live from the Peacock Theater in downtown Los Angeles. The 77th Emmy Awards air this Sunday, September 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS, or streaming on Paramount+. And after massive fan demand, Lady Gaga's turning up the volume on her sold-out Mayhem Ball tour, announcing she's adding a second North American leg, kicking off Valentine's Day in Glendale, Arizona. The new run includes stops in Atlanta, Austin, Washington, D.C., and Boston, plus 2 more encore nights in L.A. and New York. Pre-sales for the new shows begin today. General sales begin next week. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Nick Zechevich, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And comedian Nate Bargatze is gearing up to host the 77th Annual Emmy Awards. The 46-year-old Tennessee native became the highest-grossing stand-up comedian in the country last year and has hosted Saturday Night Live twice.
I'm sure we'll have jokes about shows and all that, or we will do that, but it's like to do it in a way that's not, mean or something like that, mean-spirited. It'll be fun to get in there, get on stage, get that first joke, hear that first laugh.
The 77th Emmy Awards will air live Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on KOAM. Let's take it on over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are so far dry this morning, but we do have opportunities for scattered showers and thunderstorms increasing as we head into the afternoon. We're going to break down the details and also talk about the weekend heat when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:20. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:22 on this Wednesday morning. Skywatch storm tracker for us for now is clear. We have this decaying batch of showers, a couple of thunderstorms out there as they continue pushing off to the southeast. In fact, here in the latest loop, it looks more, you can see this thing starting to turn a little more easterly. And that's okay, because what will happen is as it dies out, it'll start to set the stage for new development right around the Wichita area, or at least immediately west, that will eventually bring us additional shower and thunderstorm chances this afternoon. It's also already impacting cloud cover because it was a pretty big batch of showers and storms. Not so much now, but it was, and so it's got a pretty big cloud shield with it. So we're already partly cloudy for most of the area, and as we go through the morning, we'll see those clouds increasing from the west. And about 1 o'clock or so, that's when we start to see scattered showers, thunderstorms pushing into our western counties. Not anticipating any severe weather with this, and not everybody will see rain today, but by 3, you can see Yates Center, maybe right on the doorstep of Chinook, Parsons, heading into Coffeyville, Independence, Fredonia, back through Greenwood, Elk, and Chautauqua counties, so Sedan, Howard, and Eureka, getting in showers, storms, maybe even a couple stretching into parts of northeastern Oklahoma. By 5, the drive home, as you can see, still scattered showers and storms, really into southeastern Kansas. Now, again, despite what you see, it is not rain everywhere out here, but these scattered storms will be in these zones as we head into the evening hours across the region. So really right along the 69 corridor, and as we head later into the evening, they'll start pushing east. And I do believe, looking at some new information, I'm going to tell you right now, and again, the future track, it pulls updates every about 3 hours, which is why yesterday when those storms were pushing through and things were changing, it wasn't reflecting those changes because it hadn't pulled those updates yet. But I think looking at some new information, I think by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, we're probably going to be just about done with any of these isolated showers and storms. I think what you're seeing here is a hallucination by future track. There will not have any extended showers. They could last as late as midnight, but I think that's going to be it, and nothing into tomorrow morning. Now, we'll start Thursday mostly cloudy, but as we head into the afternoon, those skies will gradually clear. We're looking at a pretty warm Thursday. We go into Friday, temperatures heat up even more. Mix of those partly cloudy skies out there, but we start to go well above average across the area. So again, we're partly cloudy to start. In fact, actually we're getting a little daylight in. It looks like we're already kind of getting mostly cloudy in the Joplin area right now. We'll have those mostly cloudy skies. Low 60s to start, low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Average high, as we've mentioned, is 85. So we're only going to be 2 or 3 degrees above average, and that's going to be all right compared to how hot we're going to get heading into this upcoming weekend. Again, there's some of those scattered storms out there. Shower storms continue through the late evening hours. I think by 11 o'clock, midnight at the latest, we'll be done with the rain. Partly cloudy overnight, and we go into the upper 60s and low 70s. And as we continue, take a look at this, upper 80s, low 90s. It's hotter, yes, but this weekend, boy, it is going to feel a lot more like August than September. And it's okay today because the end of August felt more like late September than August. So I guess it's a trade-off we get here. Low mid-90s, so 5 to 10 degrees above average heading into the upcoming weekend and the start of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to toss it over to Elise now. Let's get a check of Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again Commission released recommendations to improve the health of children called Make Our Children Healthy Again. The 20-page report outlines 128 directives and strategies. Now, to meet its goal, the commission plans to launch new studies as well as improve collaboration between health agencies. Specific targets include improving air and water quality, limiting microplastics, removing chemical additives from food, and increasing breastfeeding rates. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. chairs the commission.
A lot of these 128 recommendations are things that I've been dreaming about my whole life. I've been working for in congressional campaigns and presidential campaigns for other candidates. And they get into office and they say, well, we just can't do it.
Now, Kennedy says some of these ideas also came from discussions with farmers, teachers, and doctors. The report also focuses on harm from vaccines, electromagnetic radiation, and fluoride, ideas medical experts have labeled as conspiracy theories. More clues in the effort to better understand long COVID. Research published in JAMA found that people experiencing food insecurity are 78% more likely to be diagnosed with long COVID and 34% less likely to recover from it. The study also found that support from food assistance programs like SNAP reduced COVID risks of long COVID. Well, a warning about the dangers of RSV infections for infants. A study in Sweden found that even healthy full-term babies are at a high risk of hospitalization if they are infected with RSV, especially during the first 3 months of life. Researchers stress there are preventative treatments for newborns, and pregnant women can receive the RSV vaccine. And the keto diet may have benefits for your mental health. Research from Ohio State University looked at college students and found after 10 weeks of following the ketogenic diet, participants had a 70% decrease in depression symptoms. The students also lost weight and performed better on cognitive tasks. The keto diet focuses on reducing carbs with a higher fat and moderate protein intake. That's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, after 50 years of rescuing animals, a Pittsburgh shelter now needs rescuing itself.
And clouds beginning to increase on this Wednesday ahead of some scattered thunderstorm chances this afternoon. Details coming up.
Plus, public input for naming bike trails.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday, September the 10th, and we are halfway now through this work week. Had some rain yesterday, got more rain possible today, but all in all, not too bad.
No.
Unfortunately, it's going to get really darn hot before too much longer. It's going to really heat up in the next few days, but not today. It will be warmer, just not that hot today. Let's start with that live look downtown Pittsburgh. Got a nice sunrise out there, but you can see clouds already really beginning to increase across the area. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. It's a little, okay, it's like a lot artifact there, but if you look, you can see that we have those clouds, Joplin as well, beginning to increase this morning, and that's all thanks to some rain that's off to our west. This is a dying batch of shower storms. Was severe late last night, not this morning, but take a look at the activity here, how it's almost like it's turning back around. This will continue to die out, but it has a pretty big cloud shield with it, so the mostly cloudy skies are already beginning, as we saw on those cameras, to push into our area. Eventually, as this continues to fizzle out, it will set the stage right around the Wichita area for new development that will start moving into our area about 1 o'clock today in our western counties. So Howard, Sedan, and into Eureka initially, and then by 4 you can see we've got scattered showers, thunderstorms out there. It's not rain everywhere all at once, so not everyone will see rain today, but by 4 most of it's along and west of the 69 corridor, and that does stretch into northeastern Oklahoma as well. And as we head later into the evening, these storms become much more isolated as they push into the Missouri side of things, and then again by I'd say midnight at the latest we should be just about done with any shower and thunderstorm chances, if not a little earlier than that. All right, we're sitting at 65 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, temperature's not too bad this morning. We've got some mid-upper 50s down south, and we get low mid-60s as you head a little further to the north. So, again, not a bad start to the day. Kids get on the bus, partly to mostly cloudy skies, low 60s. Lunch and recess, again, majority of us should still be dry at that point, upper 70s, but send the umbrella with them because by the time they start heading home, especially out west into parts of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, we're going to start seeing those scattered showers and storms building in. Mid-80s out there. Mid-60s by 9, upper 70s by noon. Scattered storms this afternoon, and our highs today averages 85, so we're going to be 2 to 3 degrees above normal. So it's definitely going to feel a lot warmer than where we have been, but it's going to feel better compared to what we're expecting heading into the weekend. Details on that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, after half a century of rescuing lost animals, the Southeast Kansas Animal Shelter says it's now the one looking to be rescued. The SEK Humane Society in Pittsburgh says it needs an average income of $30,000 a month to continue to stay afloat. Now, if the shelter is unable to resolve the financial crisis, its doors will close for good by the end of the year. The program's director warns shutting the shelter down would go far beyond kennels. It could affect the safety of the entire community.
They don't want to hand over to a shelter that is a kill facility and they're going to let that dog run rampant, then you have cross-contamination with the public and a loose animal, right? That animal becomes less socialized, or the opposite, where if that animal, let's say that it's sick, it has ringworm and such, and it's been raised with kids, there's a school a few blocks away, can hear the kids, it's going to go for the kids because they know that sound, right?
The SEK Humane Society currently stands at full capacity, cannot take any more rescues at this time. Last night, the shelter spoke with Pittsburgh City Commissioners about their pending issues. Most cities have one, an old water tower standing tall, holding a piece of local history. A small town in Australia has given its 100-year-old tower a makeover, turning the concrete shell into a quirky bookstore. The book tower has become a cozy spot for readers looking for something a little different. And Joplin officials want your help in naming some new trails at the city's bike park at Dora. City officials are inviting the public to name the trails at the Momentum Bike Park, located within the Dover Outdoor Recreation Area. Now, when the park opens, it will be the largest municipal facility of its kind in Missouri. It'll feature more than 132,000 square feet of formal bike park elements alongside 10 miles of purpose-built mountain bike trails. If you are interested in submitting names for any of the trails, we've provided a link to the survey on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The survey closes next Wednesday on the 17th. And as we get closer to fall, the very dry summer is already changing the color of the leaves on some trees. Nick Kelly reports on what the weather will do the rest of the fall color season.
Passing clouds on this Tuesday kept temperatures cooler than normal once again, still hinting at this coming fall. Something Kelly McGowan at the MU Extension is excited for.
Everyone's looking forward to fall. It's been a long, hot summer, and we're looking forward to cooler temperatures.
In some parts of Springfield, other signs of fall are showing up. Some trees changing color from their vibrant greens. McGowan says that usually happens when chlorophyll production, responsible for food for the trees and the green colors, shuts down. However, a color change this early is a sign of tree stress from our dry August and September so far, even after a wet June and July.
Whenever we have a period of really dry weather around the time of leaf change or in the weeks leading up to it, it can certainly affect some of our fall color. And I think that's why we're seeing it arriving a little bit earlier than usual.
While the weather will influence the actual colors themselves, this will influence when the fall colors peak this season. According to ExploreFall.com, our average peak for fall colors is late October. While we'll have some light to moderate change through September and early October, leaf colors will start peaking around October 17th and past peak before Halloween. So while the colors may start changing early, McGowan says you'll still see plenty of vibrant colors.
Oranges, reds, even some purplish type colors. I mean, we're going to have the whole spectrum of colors.
Also, McGowan says that while you can catch the colors anywhere and any time, photographers will want to focus on 2 times of day.
With some of these nature type photographies, you know, early in the morning, later in the day is when the best color will show up via photo.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Supreme Court will decide how far presidential power extends on trade. Plus, the government admits it overcounted jobs by more than 900,000. We'll have the latest time now, 6:38. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Rotary Park in Frontenac. In Consumer Watch, the Supreme Court says it will take up the case to decide if the Trump administration can impose sweeping retaliatory tariffs on trading partners. The justices will review lower court decisions that found that President Trump did not have the authority to levy tariffs under the Federal Emergency Powers Law. The Trump administration has argued that not imposing tariffs would put the U.S. at a trade disadvantage. Arguments are set for November. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics has revised its previous job numbers, now saying that 911,000 fewer jobs were added in the 12-month period that ended in March of this year. That's more than 800,000 economists had predicted. The revision comes days after a weaker than expected August jobs report and signals that the labor market may have begun cooling sooner than previously thought. And Apple has revealed its new iPhone 17 and other smart gadgets. The iPhone 17 has a larger, brighter screen, a powerful new chip to process AI features, and an upgraded camera. The company also unveiled its new AirPods that allow language translation in real time, and the Apple Watch 11 that includes new health components, such as the ability to alert users of hypertension symptoms. Apple also unveiled its thinnest and lightest smartphone to date, the Apple Air. Its prices start at $999. Well, for some families, spending a weekend camping is a cherished tradition, but for others, it's a daunting idea. A unique project aims to change that by teaching basic camping skills for free. Bradley Blackburn shows us how.
Figure out where the front door is.
Longtime friends Jane Charles and Sandra Araniva have never pitched a tent in their lives, but with some help from camping ambassador Alex Pila,
And we're just going to clip them on like that.
they got the job done,
Is that good?
even if they didn't make it look easy.
Good job. Nice.
That was great.
Beautiful.
We did a great job.
You
Yep.
can see the fruits of your labor.
It's like our outdoor home.
One of the first time mistakes that people always make is everything takes longer than you expect when you're camping.
The city dwellers from Albany have traveled the globe together, but they've never taken a camping trip.
It's the bugs that kept us out. Bugs, the nature.
So they got brave and signed up for the New York State First Time Camper program for some instruction on what to do.
I think it gives more people the opportunity, right, to experience something that maybe they've been putting off like we have.
New York State's Department of Environmental Conservation hosts free training weekends multiple times a year, when a few lucky folks who were picked from a lottery learn everything.
We supply all of the equipment for them, and we introduce them not only to camping, but other outdoor activities like boating and fishing, hiking, and birding.
Jessica McBride runs the program. She says for many, camping is a foreign concept,
We get campers who've never slept outside of a high-rise building before.
but it can be learned and hopefully enjoyed.
Fingers crossed everything goes well.
If it goes well this weekend, do you think you'll be back?
Not next weekend. A little bit of time to forget, maybe.
It just takes a little help to get comfortable in the great outdoors that's not far from home. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Woodstock, New York.
New York state parks say more than 75% of participants in the program return to camp again. They say other states also have similar programs. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Let's take it on over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, got a really nice sunrise out there, as you can see from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Got the clouds increasing, though, thanks to some dying showers out to our west. Those will eventually trigger more shower and storm chances for us this afternoon. Details on that and the summer heat returning when we return. Time now 6:45. All right, time now for some Wednesday birthdays in the 4 states. We're starting in Columbus with Cohen Epler celebrating birthday number 19. Happy birthday.
And a happy 19th birthday to Eli Monty.
And in Pennsylvania, long distance wishes for Trevor Edwards celebrating birthday number 24. Happy birthday.
And a happy 37th birthday to Michael Baxter in Carl Junction. It says here, happy birthday, love your wife, Landon, Remy, and Tabitha.
And Matthew Rattery in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 49 today. Happy birthday.
And in McCune, a happy birthday to Ann Egbert.
And we also have Tammy Bunce in Miami celebrating another year wiser with happy birthday wishes from the Crestline girls.
And last but not least, over in Pickaway, Kansas, a happy 53rd birthday to Justin Reno.
All right, another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, if you would like to celebrate with us, Elise has a very important email address you need to write down.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and those anniversaries to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen, and also please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Very important information there. We are going to start with our Skywatch Storm Tracker. Right now in our neck of the woods, nothing. Except clouds. We have the clouds, all right? I don't have the clouds turned on here, but we do have clouds, and we're seeing them continue to increase. Those are thanks to this. This is a dying batch of showers and storms. Was severe late last night into southwestern Kansas and the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. It's actually their second day now with severe thunderstorms out there. And they're actually expecting maybe some strong to low-grade severe storms again today. We're not, but it's this activity here. See, take a look at how this turns around. I mean, it literally just about turns around. The whole batch here, moving southeast, now starting to turn back to the east. It's this activity, though, that's going to set the stage for additional development along the I-35 corridor and around the Wichita Metro that will eventually begin to push into our area after about 1 o'clock or right about 1 o'clock. Could we get a stray shower ahead of it? We certainly could. The big thing we're going to notice initially is the clouds, which we're already seeing across the area because that batch of rain had a big cloud shield with it across a good portion of Kansas, and it's now working into our area. So we'll have mostly cloudy skies through the morning. Here we are at noon. Isolated shower, maybe Greenwood County. It's a possibility. But the rain chances and thunderstorm chances will begin to pick up a bit as we head into the afternoon. So here we are at 3. So we've got Yates Center, Eureka, Sedan, Howard, Fredonia, Independence, Coffeyville into the thunderstorm activity. Maybe some light showers just knocking on the door of, say, Chanute, maybe Parsons. And then eventually it will continue to push to the east. Now by 5, you can see along the 69 corridor and immediately west, we've got scattered showers and storms. Off to the east for that drive home, just starting to get in on some of the isolated showers. Few rumbles of thunder out there. Now, here's the thing. In Future Track, I think maybe it's trying to make up for yesterday where it just had a really hard time catching on to the storms. You can see there aren't clouds associated with any of the rain you see here in the southeast Kansas, but the clouds are over here. I think what we're looking at is Future Track again, maybe saying, I'm sorry, let me try and get this right again. I think by midnight at the latest, we'll be done with showers and storms. And I don't think anything that you're seeing here is actually going to be ongoing by 10 o'clock tonight. And again, see, it's just kind of looping this rain chance out there into Thursday morning. But I do believe it's done. It's done by midnight at the latest for us. We will start Thursday, though, mostly, partly to mostly cloudy. And then skies will gradually clear. Tomorrow starts our big warm-up as well. We're going to stay dry. We've got high pressure in control. And, excuse me, flow around the high-pressure system is clockwise. And if you look close enough in the Benton County, see how the arrows are spinning? High pressure is down across Arkansas, and that brings in that warm air, and it's going to stay with us. And it's a pretty big dome of high pressure as well. That's why we're going to stay dry. That's why we're going to heat up as we head into the weekend as well. Could get some clouds, as you can see. No big deal, though. Friday, partly cloudy, not bad. It's the temperatures that aren't so fun as we head into the upcoming weekend. All right, so partly cloudy, which again, we're getting that mix now as those clouds begin to gradually roll into our area. We'll be in the low 60s to start, and we'll make about the low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. But again, increasing clouds out there, leaving us mostly cloudy through most of our morning. Now, we're going to have another look at your forecast and talk about that heat that's on the way, because it is more... You know, August ended more like late September, and now we're in the middle of September almost, and it's starting to transition into more like August. We'll talk about that, how long it lasts, and how the weekend's looking. We're also Going to have a look at your wake up recap. And when we make the switch to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., and of course, you folks at home, if you're streaming with us on KOAM Plus, you don't do anything. You just stay right where you are, because we're going to tell you about a federal court that has ruled that the Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook can keep her position. That and more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up Recap for September 10th. The top stories to start your day. Webb City Police, along with the Jasper County SWAT team, surrounded a residence on North Pennsylvania Avenue Monday night. The operation began around 7:30 p.m. and involved a tense standoff. Using a bullhorn, officers urged those inside to surrender. By 9:45 p.m., the front door was breached and a drone was deployed shortly afterwards. At 11:20 p.m., Colton Crowder surrendered peacefully and was arrested on a probation and parole felony violation warrant. No injuries were reported during the operation. And Joplin officials want your help naming some new trails at the city's bike park at Dora. City officials are inviting the public to name the trails at the Momentum Bike Park. Upon opening, it will be the largest municipal facility of its kind in Missouri. The survey closes next Wednesday on the 17th. And that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
All right, again for us today, average high is 85, so we're only going to be 2 or 3 degrees above that across the region. Some scattered storms for some of us heading through the afternoon, otherwise mostly cloudy skies. Those should wrap up by late evening, putting us back into the upper 60s tonight with partly cloudy skies. And take a look at this. This is not September weather. This is August weather as we start going low 90s tomorrow. And that high pressure, man, it just locks onto us in a good portion of the Midwest, in all honesty, putting us in the low to mid 90s through the weekend. I mean, if you've got something you need to get done before fall sets in, this weekend's probably a good opportunity to do that. Just stay hydrated. We might get some additional showers next Thursday to hopefully bring our temperatures back closer to normal, but get ready for some heat.
Absolutely. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making fruity frozen yogurt bites in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Sounds pretty good. Your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. Bruce Willis's wife is sharing her family's very difficult journey with honesty, with a lot of strength.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, the Labor Department's preliminary job market results are in, and the numbers are staggering.
Plus, how to keep your whole family healthy, including your pups. We'll have that and more at 7 a.m. That's going to wrap it up for us for now here on the KOM side of things. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.